So, how have you been?
Pretty good. I did a stream earlier, and I've been sleeping like a baby the last couple of nights, so I've been super happy.
Oh, really? I have
It's been
slept
great.
poorly over the weekend. I was camping, right? So, as you know, got one of those like blow up bed things.
Things you have to like stand on the thing.
Yeah, well, my friends had a pump, so luckily we could blow it up like with the pump. But anyway, the cat, the last time it was blown up when somebody was staying over in the living room, must have like punctured it with their claws because there was no obvious puncture. But I woke up about half an hour after going to sleep, just like with my ass on the floor, like uncomfortable. So for like 2 nights, yeah, just basically sleeping on the ground, as well as like going on this stupidly long walk and just feeling completely fucked. So
Yeah, especially like if you haven't rested and you have to go do like a walk around thing.
yeah, man,
Ugh,
fucked up. So yeah, I'm still
that's
recovering from my first venture into the wilderness in 2 years.
sounds like it went well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I barely
Jesus.
made it back alive, but at least I made it. So have you
Yeah.
kind of like just blown up in the last year, or is it a couple of years, or?
Um, I would say that it was around, I want to say like April or May 2020, where my channel really took off to where I was making, you know, I want to say December 2019. I was like, okay, I think I can see myself doing this for like quite a while. And then in 2020, there was like a period where my channel like blew up a little bit. I got like 30,000 or 40,000 viewers in like 2 months, or subscribers and stuff, and got a few million extra views. And ever since then, like the tier of my channel has been like one step higher, if you get me. Like,
Yeah.
and this has actually been a process I've gone through, I want to say about 4 times over the life cycle of my channel, where like the first 9 months, I made €80 on YouTube. And
Damn.
the first thing or it was like €90. And the first thing I did with it was like bring my parents to dinner. I was like, look, I'm not broke. I bought them Chinese food.
Shit.
And so
No,
like,
so
yeah, because
nine
my,
months and you only made. You mean €80 a month, or do you mean?
no, like €80, like €10 a month is all I made.
So how many views? You must have been getting like what, barely any views, just like a couple of hundred or something.
Yeah, for the first, like, 2 or 3 months, I was getting, like, 20 views a day, and then I did a tutorial video, and then it went up to, like, 50 to 100 views a day, and I was like, "Oh,
Uh,
shit." It's like, "This is a big step up." Um,
yeah.
and then at the end of the year, I was like, "Okay," I started YouTube, my goal was, I wanna earn more than 0 money. I wanted to get a payment. Um, how do I think D&D could work out on YouTube? It's hard to make it work out on YouTube. I would love to figure out a way to make it work for my channel, but YouTube has this thing, whereas if your videos don't do well, it'll penalize your future videos. So I'm kind of scared to put D&D content up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I my first year I was like, I just want to get a payment. Then my second year is like, I want to make €1,000, and second year I made €1,000, and then third year I was like, I want to make minimum wage. And third year I did make minimum wage, and then fourth year I was like, I want to be rich. And then I was like, I want to make like really good money off YouTube. Um,
You still in
and
that
then
year now, or is that last
that
year?
year ended in October.
Nice. So you're rich now then. Awesome.
I'm not rich, but uh, I'm very, very comfortable compared to like someone working in a factory or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
that's
I
great.
work from home, I set my own hours, and I make decent money. So
Yeah, it's kind of been weird for me because I've kind of had the opposite experience where I started streaming and got like 300 viewers the first day that I streamed. And then, like I've started posting stuff on YouTube and got to like 2,500, 3,000 subscribers. It's growing a lot more slowly now, but I skipped the step of being, unknown and immediately
yes,
went to, I guess, like stage 2 or something. But at the same time, like I already have like a good job that I earn good money in and like work hard. And it's kind of like I'm at this, like if I just worked in a bar or something, it would be easier for me to say like, do you know what, fuck it, let's just put some money aside for a year and like give this full time a go. But the
for
opportunity
sure.
cost for me of like cutting down my hours at work or just stopping work to do this instead is like it's a lot bigger because I'm giving up like a good salary.
What's the like job description or like rough job that you do, just so I have an idea?
I'm an investment consultant, so I work for
Oh yeah,
Deloitte. I give like investment advice to pension schemes.
Yeah, so you're in a professional job, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. And I've been doing it for like
you're
I've been in
trained,
this
you're
industry
highly
for like 8
educated.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like highly experienced, highly educated, and highly experienced. So that value proposition for you, like you said, is really hard to make. Whereas for me, I was I was a nerd sitting at home with no job and no education. So I was like, fuck it, let's do YouTube.
Yeah, but it kind of makes the decision easier, right? Because like deep, I mean, I'd rather be doing like YouTube and internet stuff. Like I find that would be more enjoyable. But I'm just worried, like, okay, I quit my job for a year, I give it a go, it doesn't work out, I try and go back, and they're like, well, where have you been for the last year?
I
You
mean,
know?
like you have already kind of made it, dude. You have nearly 300 viewers just listening to you talk about a game you're not even playing.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly what I do. Though. That's what actually gets me the most, the most viewers. It's weirdly, I always thought Twitch is gaming, but as soon as you turn on a game on Twitch, you lose like about 50% of your viewers, unless you're
Yeah,
Destiny, in which case I guess you keep them all.
it's 80%.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh wait, sorry. Give me a sec. You do this mostly for fun,
What?
I'd imagine. Oh, hey, welcome back. Just finished answering this question.
Yeah,
I do it mostly for fun, but there is some nights where it's like I've had a really heavy day at work and I go and stream anyway because I'm trying to keep to a schedule, you know, whereas if it was purely just for my own entertainment, then maybe I'd say, oh, fuck it, I won't bother tonight. So even though it's an enjoyable thing to do and I do enjoy doing it, it's still kind of like at least like a part-time job or something, I guess. I don't know if you would
yeah.
agree with that. I mean, it's definitely still work, right? Even if you enjoy it.
Yes, the power is
No,
mine.
absolutely. See, it's
Seems
complicated because
good.
I love doing it, but I'm just not arsed, you know?
Yeah, sure. I struggle with this a lot too.
Like sometimes you just genuinely are not arsed. And yeah.
Wait,
And
wait. Oh, sorry, no, go on. Finish your thought. I just wanted to go back to something you were saying before.
yeah, I was just basically gonna say, like, sometimes I also work myself up into a frenzy where I'm like, I should just log on and play and just not talk much, and then I'll log on and play and not talk much, and then I'll be like, that content was shit. But yeah, what were we gonna ask?
You mentioned that like you spent your first 80 euros taking your parents out for Chinese food. So I imagine that
Yeah.
they were like, you know, when you said that you were doing YouTube for the last year and a bit, that they were a bit skeptical of it, were they? What do they feel now that you're like successful?
Oh no, I told them like from day one. I was like, I'm gonna try to be a YouTuber, and they were like, all right, son, good fucking luck. Well, see, my mom and dad have always been like, we actually know you could probably pull off anything, so like just just do something, just don't do nothing. And I was like, all right. So mostly I was just working like odd jobs, and I tried education a couple times. I love learning, but I can't be taught. That's the problem. I cannot be taught. I have to learn it myself.
Mm. How does that like? Do you mean that you just don't do bad in like lectures and stuff?
Yeah, like my thing is, um, it's the revision part. Like once I have that
Yeah,
information, it's in my head forever. It's fine, but what you call it?
it's like
What was I gonna say?
sitting
It
down and studying it in your own time.
it it's not even just that. It's like, when they're like, okay, we're gonna go over this again in class. That's it. My brain just goes,
No,
and
really.
I'm just done. Yeah,
See, I'm good in class. Like when I was in school, I was always getting like I was like, you know, top of the school grades. But as soon as it comes to like as soon as it came to university and I didn't have to be in lectures, you know, like once I realized that no one was checking my attendance and I didn't have to go home to my dad every night and him say like, you know, have you done your homework or whatever? I was just like, well, fuck it then. I guess I'm staying in bed. You know, and I just always struggled with that. And I mean, I'm not trying to like say, oh, you know, very naturally intelligent. I just mean that like I've kind of I got to a point where I was in university doing maths because I was like good in school. But then realized in my second year, like, God, I'm only doing this because I was good at it in school and I really don't enjoy it. And I can't be fucked learning about group theory or set theory or whatever. And yeah, like I just can't. If I'm forced to sit there and learn something, it's good. I can do it, but if it's in my own time, I just struggle. Like it's the same with doing like the financial exams in my work. Like
yeah.
coming home from a work day and actually like sitting down and reading these textbooks was just the most miserable time in my life. Well, this is what's been kind of going through my head since I started realistically considering the whole streaming thing as a potential future. Is that in my head, because I've always been like maths and finance, it's like to me a job you're not really meant to enjoy it that much. That's why it's a job. That's why they're paying you to be there. So just find something you can tolerate that's going to pay you well, so you can enjoy your life outside of work. And that's pretty much
Yeah.
the best you can hope for. And then as soon as recently I've started considering like actually being able to like fucking play Crusader Kings and D&D as a job, like hang on a minute, is it actually possible to do a job that you thoroughly enjoy? And then I've been like second guessing just that thought. It's kind of been weighing on me over the last sort of 6 months. Like I didn't really know what to do about it. Because I
I
just
think
think this channel would have to be so much bigger for me to actually recoup my salary.
absolutely,
Yeah.
because
So I think,
I think part of
good.
that is going to be growth, and then the other part of it is like actually involving your community in that. Because if you're like, listen, dudes, I want to make this full time.
Yeah.
Get those fucking primes out.
Well, I
I'm on
spoke
board.
to another streamer about this, and she said that she just made the switch to going full time after setting up Patreon and actually
Yeah.
getting, because it's a much better return. Like Patreon, I think takes something like 5% rather than like 50, which is what Twitch takes.
Yep.
So it's more efficient for people to support you. So I've sort of and ahed about doing that, but I kind of feel guilty about like setting up a Patreon without really anything to offer for it, because I can barely. I mean, I just about find the time to just like do D&D and do the streams that I do. Never mind finding
Yeah.
something else to offer for Patreon.
Honestly, you don't have to offer shit for your Patreon. You
Yeah,
just
that's
be
what
like,
she said as well.
this lets me keep making content. And here's the great thing. A friend of mine used to run like a podcast, and he set up a Patreon, and people just forget that they're paying someone money. There's people out there who have like no money troubles, and they just subscribe to your Patreon for $50, and then forget for like a year.
Yeah, tell
And
me about. I'm subscribed to some people on Twitch that I've not watched for over a year
yeah, and
for sure.
he made like a few thousand euro just from people just totally forgetting. Like he stopped doing the podcast, and people were still paying him.
Does he not feel a bit morally obligated to cancel a Patreon at that point? Or?
He did. He stopped it up. He started messaging people being like, "Hey, you're still paying me, by the way." And then a couple of them were like, just keep the money."
Yeah, no, that's
So
good. That's good. Yeah, maybe I'll get around to doing that. It's one of these things that I think deep down I know that that's probably, if I really want to take it seriously, that's something that I should be doing. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
one thing you may consider is like trying to make some slightly more clickable content.
yeah, but I don't really
Um,
know. Like, well, I do have one idea for a video that Decode in chat has actually given me, which is that community episode where they play AD&D, which is like second edition.
yep, sounds
Like
familiar.
doing a video like professional AD&D player reacts to community plays D&D or something like that. Like I could see like getting a few videos out of that. Like there's a Big Bang Theory episode where they play D&D as well, and like that kind of content is popular on YouTube. And
Yeah, exactly. React stuff or even response videos or tutorials. Those are all like really good grassroots onboarding videos that will get recommended.
yeah, and I guess like in my head I'm thinking that, well, there's only one or two videos in that, and then what are you going to do? But actually to listen to you tell it, and my own experience as well, it's kind of like you just get one big video, right? And then that just like catapults you up a tier. You don't necessarily
Yeah,
even need to keep doing the same sort of high quality content as that one video, as long as you just like do it the one time to get the recognition.
absolutely. I released a video. I think it was how to analyze your start locations in Civ 6, and that video
Mm.
got like nearly 2 million
Mate,
views
I think
3
that's
years
the one
later.
I've watched actually. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's the one I've
that vid
watched.
that video literally made me a YouTuber. Like,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the video that took me from being no money to, like, minimum wage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, nice. It's funny that, isn't it? It's funny how quick it happens on YouTube. That's what's fascinating about it. Like you can
Yep,
make good money in like my career, but it's taken me like years and years and years to grow. They're working towards the same goal all the time. Whereas on YouTube, it's like just one sort of brief moment of brilliance and like everything changes. It's crazy.
the hilarious thing is, it was like a video that I literally spent a half an hour on
Yeah.
and, like, recorded it with a shitty Yeti, uh, that I hadn't configured correctly. The I, like, stumbled over my words in the video. I missed things. It wasn't even a really good video, and it just fucking took off because the concept really gripped people, and that's
Yeah.
the thing you gotta. It's like if you find a concept that, like, people in your audience will really respond to. So like the community thing, like React content,
Mm.
or like how to role play, or how to roll with a DM, or these sorts of like little tutorial videos. They might only get like, 10, 20,000 views, but that's 10, 20,000 views where 25% of them are new viewers.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I should do this. I've had like I've been sort of had this on a list of things to do, this like React community and the Patreon and stuff, but just with like work's been crazy the last couple of months. But I've got a bit of breathing room now, so maybe over the next few weeks I'll get something like that going. And I think somebody's mentioned that you get DMCA'd for doing that video on community, but it doesn't even really matter whether you make money off that one video or not. It's more just about the
The
recognition, right?
onboarding.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Decode, I mean like 20,000 views, like because a lot of the channels I see, their videos get regularly like 100,000 to a million
Yeah.
views. Um, Whereas my videos are like 50,000 to 100,000 views. Um, so maybe that's just like a perspective thing where I thought only 20,000 views, which is probably a lot for a lot of people.
It definitely is a perspective thing. I noticed the same thing with streaming as well. Like the second that you start streaming to more people, you immediately start comparing yourself to a different set of goals than you were just like one day earlier, which
Yeah,
is
it's like
kind of a weird way of looking at it, but it's inevitable, I think.
you like internally move your own goalposts and then like start to berate yourself for not hitting
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Like the second you hit 1,000 viewers, you drop back down to 800 and you fucking hate
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And I have to like remind myself, listen, dude, a year ago you were fucking eating tuna and shitting in a bucket. So like, calm down, okay?
Crazy, yeah, yeah. It's funny. What a crazy world. Just mad to me. Civilization has changed your life. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
Well,
and
not civilization, but I guess that's been a vehicle in a way more than the reason. But it's just so cool
true.
to think that you can make something of that, you know?
Yeah, it I I don't know why. I just was like, because I wanted to do YouTube since I was like a teenager, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna make it fucking happen." I was just like determined. It was genuinely like the barrel of a gun or become a YouTuber for me.
Oh,
There was
really?
no like, yeah, there was no like become a, get an education or whatever. I was just like, I am going to make this happen.
What made
Like
you like want to do it so much?
it's unironically, it was like the thing as a kid. It's like I just want to play video games as my job, dude. It's like that's my entire motivation. I just want to fucking.
That's all. So wait, so can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 29. I'm 30 in about 3
Okay,
years.
so you're like 3 years younger than me. Because I remember when StarCraft 2 came out, I was obsessed with StarCraft 2. I was obsessed with RTS before. Like I played um like Command and Conquer
Yeah,
and then
boy.
Dawn of War, and I was like one of the best in the UK at Dawn of War. Like I was really into it, and then StarCraft 2 came out, and I was like, this is the hypest shit I've ever seen in my life, and it was like blowing up on Twitch and stuff. And I remember watching it, and all I wanted to do was play StarCraft all the time. It was all I could think about. I was like 21 at the time, and I remember thinking like, holy shit, I wish I could somehow make a living doing this so I could just play StarCraft all day. Like that would be the dream. But I was
Yeah.
at that point, I was already like starting a career and, sort of like growing up. And I never really seriously considered it. And it's only like now, like sort of 10 years later, that it's actually like presenting as an opportunity, somewhat not to play StarCraft, but, in the same sort of realm. Things have moved on a lot from now. And I think maybe those 3 years that you've got on me, about a lot changed in those 3 years, right? In terms of money from streaming and gaming online.
Well, the thing is, we both probably started watching StarCraft around the
Same
same
time,
time.
yeah. But
It
you were
was
a
just
bit younger back then, yeah.
I wasn't heading into college because I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have been only about 15 when you were 18 around
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time, right? So like, you know, um, I was able to build that dream up bigger and bigger. And then when I got to 18, I kind of just worked shitty jobs and mostly thought about becoming a YouTuber. See, I got really discouraged by people in my life because I was like, man, I really want to try and become a YouTuber. And everyone's like, oh, that's cringe, blah, blah, blah. And that kind of like
Yeah.
weird social pressure put me away from it. And then like when I hit 25, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. Let's go. And
In some ways, you can't blame your friends for saying that to you because it just, from the outside, it seems like so unlikely to ever actually work.
yeah.
But like
But
when
what I
you
want to
actually
say
say
to
it,
someone,
there was no one else doing Civ videos. So actually, looking back now, I mean, you had a pretty good opportunity going into that, right?
yeah. And I think there's actually kind of a similar thing for you because you already have a good audience on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a professional, so like if things do go tits up, you may have taken a hiatus, but you still have like skills and experience that you
Yeah,
can.
that's true. I mean, yeah, that's what people have been saying to me as well. It's just hard to. Yeah, I'm just in two minds about it, you know, because to take a year
I
out and try and it
yeah.
not to work, it's just shitty then to have to like go back and like take a step down and work because you've missed a year. Even if you can still go back into a job and be comfortable, you know, it's still frustrating to lose out on a year's worth of progress. Best case scenario. Worst case is you take some sort of knockback because of it.
I totally get it, dude. I'm like that with decisions all the time because I'm like, I could take the risky route or I could take the safe route, you know.
Yeah.
And like the safe route is like really nice because I'm a person who like enjoys my comfort, you know, like um, and it's kind of spooky to make those decisions. So I don't envy you. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if I should try to influence you because obviously I'm like filled with survivorship bias. I'm like, dude, you should totally do it. Like it will work out. You'll be fine, you know, man. No,
Yeah, you're walking survivorship bias. That's true.
the one thing I would say though is like, is it really the end of the world if you like miss a year of your career to do something you love? You
Well,
know,
I
like
don't. I mean, I guess I just don't know. Like, I don't know what the impact of that is. I've kind of flirted with the idea of like trying to go down to 4 days a week, just
mm,
to buy myself like a little bit more time to do a few extra streams. Like, what I'd do is I'd take like 2 half days so I could stream like Wednesday and Friday evening. But I'm just worried about bringing it all to my boss because the kind of career I'm in, I don't know if like you say something like that, if they immediately think, okay, well, he's not committed, which probably wouldn't happen. But just the and then like as the views go up or down over the course of a week, like I think like, oh well, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because the channel's never going to make it anyway, so why risk it, you know? And I'm just constantly having this discussion with myself. But I think
yeah,
what I'll
I
start
think
with
the
is
shittiest
go
scenario
ahead.
for you is staying in limbo forever.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is because then I end up just doing like 70 hours a week between working and Twitch, and then never making it on Twitch, but then also still doing my job but just being stressed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say before I interrupt you? Sorry, buddy.
No, that's all right. I think I was talking too much. I can't remember, but it's probably not that important.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I will do my best to save you and Archie.
All right,
Um,
I'm relying on you. I hope so.
it's pretty late, so I'm probably gonna pop off the bed here in a bit.
Yeah, no, cool. Yeah, me too. Well, thanks for coming on to chat. It's been fun talking to you, and speak to you tomorrow.
All right, catch you later, man. Bye bye.
See you later.